Okay, I just wanted to talk through the demonstration essay with you quite quickly. Okay, the first thing to notice about this essay is that it is typed in Times New Roman font 12, and you select that up there. You can select all different types of font, but the one we use in academic writing is Times New Roman and font 12. That's the size. The second thing to notice is that it is justified, and that means that the writing reaches from the left hand side of the screen to the right hand side of the screen. You can see down along the right it's not jagged with varying line lengths. All the line lengths are the same, and that is achieved by, before you start typing, selecting the justify button, which is that button where you can see on the icon the writing reaches from the left to the right hand side. Very often when you open your Microsoft Word first, it will be left aligned, but we don't want that. We want it justified. Next, you can see that, if I scroll down, you can see that the paragraph is about 12 lines long or so, and you'll find that throughout this essay all the paragraphs are pretty much balanced in length, about 150 to 175 words long. The opening paragraph is not indented, but every following paragraph is indented. Indented means that there is a gap there. You achieve that by pressing the Tab key. You'll see that there are no gaps between the paragraphs. Simply at the end of one paragraph here, you just hit return, press Tab to indent, and then continue on with your second paragraph. The next thing I want to talk about is referencing and the way in which you use references. Now, students sometimes think that references are actually a lecturer's way of punishing students and making them go to the library and search around for obscure and irrelevant stuff, but it's not. I always ask students to think of essays as if they are arguing a point in a court, and if you make a claim in a court, you of course are required to provide evidence for your claim or your accusation, and it's the same in an academic essay. And the function of quotations and of references is that you can show to the reader that, look, I've gone and this isn't just my own made up stuff. I've actually gone and I'm quoting an authority, somebody who's actually been published and recognized as being an authority on this subject. So you'll see further on down the essay, and I'm not going to read through the whole essay for you or with you, but I include some information about the way in which you should reference and the way in which references should be or could be used. And there are several different ways, and you can see that what I say here is that Edgehill University prefers the Harvard system. Now, the Harvard system means it's just a name for the way in which we use references, and that's the most common way, where we just give the author's name, then the year in which it is published, and the page number from which that quote appears. And you'll see that the quote is not in italics, it's not in bold, it's just between two inverted commas, single inverted commas. But there are other ways of quoting that the same, and you can see that that paragraph goes into a lot of detail, and you should read that. In this one I have used a colon to offset the quotation. In this one I run the quotation into my own sentence, but that's not necessary. Or I might paraphrase it, or you can see further on down that I might indent it, and those paragraphs there discuss the way in which all those quotation methods should be executed, and we're very precise on what we expect from students. There is no scope sort of for you to make up your own referencing system. Okay, and you'll see there that I go in and I talk about not using Wikipedia, and that's very important. You will have heard me talking about that a lot. And then finally, what the essay discusses is about grammar and proofreading, and it gives you some examples down here about the most common mistakes that students make. And that's pretty much it. I would draw your attention to this reference, which is a nice little website where you can practice grammar. And finally, the last paragraph, as it should, concludes the essay and sums up what has been discussed. So I hope this is of some help to you. I do encourage you to read the essay and to take on board the points that have been made. Remember, we're not trying to make life more difficult for you, we're just trying to facilitate you in writing clear and direct essays that will help you score the maximum points.